Richard Hart made a post on Twitter about why he thinks it's a bad idea to get these exchange listings, and there have been many responses. I made a video about it, and there are also many responses to that video. So I want to read one comment, and then I'll take a look at what some of the comments that Richard Hart had on his post. Now, there's one here, right? Crypto Power Talk. You need to stop gaslighting and be honest. Deep down, you know it's a terrible decision to reject any exchange listings. Unfortunately, guys, I can't share my screen. My PC is not powerful enough. If I do share my screen, the footage is kind of a bit laggy. So I will upgrade once the number goes up. Now, so he's saying that I'm gaslighting. Now, here's my point. My point is not that I don't like exchange listings. My point is that I do like all exchange listings. But in this case, the community is raising about over 150 grand to get an exchange listing. And I think that there's better value for money if what you want is number go up. I do think that in the same post, Richard also spoke about marketing, that if you do direct mail. Now, I'm sure he's seen the data in regards to direct mail. But in regards to centralized exchange listings, of course, they bring people, right? One of the comments I saw on Twitter was someone saying that that they onboarded people through OKX when OKX had PulseChain on it. So exchange listings help, but I simply don't think it's worth it if you're going to be if you have to spend that amount of money, if you have to dump in order to fund that. Instead, I do think I agree with Richard where he says that there's other ways where you can onboard, and he talks about outbound marketing like dropping mail and all those other stuff, right? Yes, you probably have more volume on chain. Now, this is the next comment, but it's about branding and getting your project out there to the casual investor who don't want to mess about bridges, and being on as many centralized exchanges as possible makes. You're right, centralized exchanges help. They're a huge benefit. They bring so much more simplicity in regards to for people to buy. And you know, the truth is, it's so much harder to, most people don't want to do stuff, right? I mean, to bridge, wait for the transaction, and because the bridge is not instant, wait for the transaction to go through, and it's not instant because it's blockchain technology, and so things have to go block at a time, one block at a time, one block at a time, and the more secure you want, it's going to take more time if you want it to be much more secure. So that it's understandable that exchange listings make all that a lot easier because people are already on the exchanges. So let's take a look at some of the comments, right? Corey said, Richard, ease of access plays a huge role in adoption and the longevity of layer 1. You know this better than anybody. If you don't, again, I agree with all these points. I just don't think that it's valuable, but I think that there's better use of capital. Unrelated, some think listings will solve. Okay, now here's Richard Hart kind of responding. He says, some think listings will solve ranking sites lying about market cap. It doesn't, regardless of what they tell you. Now, he talks about all the struggles that Hexagons have gone through in order to try and get Hex to be listed properly on coin ranking sites. Right? And then someone says, yeah, I was on Coinbase before I discovered DeFi. Yeah, most people, exchanges is where they learn first about crypto. Okay, there's this one. True. Why didn't iTunes win over BitTorrent? MP3s could have been free and decentralized forever, but my mom could figure out how to pay 99 cents for a song easier than using LimeWire. Right, saying that, okay, yeah, this crypto stuff is too complicated. We are DJs, that's why we know all of the stuff. But exchange listings, looks like there's a lot of support for the exchange listing. We are begging for ways to turn this 3-year nightmare around. Centralized, decentralized, it doesn't matter. We've got influencers flashing BOOBS for engagement. Crumbs, for goodness sake. Okay, there's some interesting tweets here. There's some interesting posts. Right, the messages you provided critiques of centralized exchanges and highlights the perceived advantages of decentralized. Here's a critical analysis. Coin survival, okay. Then someone's just debunking some of the points that Richard Hart made. But the bottom line is this. The argument is not that centralized exchanges have no value. They have significant amount of value. It's just that I believe that there's better use of that capital. I certainly believe that there's better use of that capital. And if you think that this is the best, please, you can explain why. But again, I'm not gaslighting anyone. I just do think that I don't think that the benefit and the cost cost benefit analysis, they call it, right? I don't think it balances out well. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do think, yeah, there's a lot of value, because if you go to a lot of the comments, you find that there's different ways of looking at this, and there's certainly a lot of value from both sides of the argument. And the best case scenario will be to have all of the stuff happening, to have exchange listings, all of the exchange listings that we would need, to have all the other marketing that Richard had spoke about. The best case scenario would be to have everything. But I do think that in a case if there's limited resources, then maybe I think it's better to be tactical and select which one is the best strategy. But all in all, I'm not anti-exchange listing. I don't think Richard Heart is anti-exchange listing. I mean, whenever, sometimes, right, not all the time, sometimes when there's a new exchange that accepts PulseChain, he shares it on his Twitter, right? And Richard Heart doesn't shill stuff, so sometimes he shares it. Okay, guys, there's a new exchange that accepts. So whenever there's a new tech that's coming on to PulseChain, he shares that. So I don't think Richard Heart is saying that he does not want exchange listing, but I think that he's saying that there might be a more direct way for number to go up if you want to spend 100 grand. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time.